goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Get this off. Get it off. Get it off. Well, it is about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 31 degrees Celsius in here, 69% humidity. He's just lost his face. He had a very sad face. He's just lost it. So we've got no face. I wore a jumper. It's so hard to know what the weather's doing at the moment. It keeps saying on the weather forecast that it's going to change. And like it's getting colder, and they're saying, oh, it's going to be colder today. 31 degrees in my greenhouse. What is the weather people talking about? Are the weather people okay? Alright, lettuces. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. My name's Emma, these are my allotment diaries. I just vlog all about my allotment plot here in South London. I brought down 2 trays of lettuces today that I have sown at home. Unfortunately, very recently, this always seems to be the case. Very recently I neglected to water them, so they've gone a little bit floppy. Half of them look like they probably haven't survived, but you know what I thought? I thought I'd bring them down, stick them in a bed somewhere. We seem to be doing okay with slugs and snails so far this year. We don't seem to be having a huge problem, and I think it's something to do with the fact we've had a lot more sun and a lot more warmth earlier in the year, which is fantastic news. You know, it means that a lot of the crops that I put out earlier in the year, including these lovely tomatoes, which might I add went out I think beginning of April, it means that they've all done really well and the roots have got established. So a lot of my crops are getting bigger and they're looking really good, really healthy, really positive. I planted out my pumpkins last time I came down here, and I'm here to check on them today. I want to make sure they're all okay and they're alive. I have a feeling they will be, but I don't think my biggest predator with them is going to be slugs and snails. I have a feeling it's going to be the birds, which is why I've netted them all. I think birds are going to be more of a problem this year than slugs and snails. So that's something I'm really thinking about, and I'm making sure to cover things over. I've got my scarecrows out. Might need to make my big scarecrow again because he's quite effective. He's a lot more effective than the little ones. I think birds know. I think birds just know that scarecrows aren't real. I think they just know. Also, not being funny, but the birds, they land and eat my crops when I'm here. So like if I'm a real human, I mean I am a real human, but a real human walking around is not deterring them. Why is a fake human gonna deter them? Do you know what I mean? I just don't think it is. So let's pop out of here before I melt and let's go check on all the pumpkins, make sure they're all still alive. This will be a daily thing now for the vlog. This will be every single vlog, checking on the pumpkins. Get used to it, guys, it's gonna happen. Yeah, good. All alive, absolutely no damage. But then, to be fair, on other years I planted them out at this time, they've had no damage for about a week, and then all of a sudden they get eaten completely. So fingers crossed this continues. Some of them looking a little bit sad. See how this one's gone a bit floppy and a bit limp. This is quite common, this is quite typical when you put new plants out. I have hardened them off. So I did harden them off before I planted them out here. And what that basically means is you get them acclimatized to their new environment. So all of these pumpkins I grew inside on a windowsill. So it was nice and warm, nice and cushy for them, you know, they're all snuggled up inside. And then what I did was I took them and put them into my outdoor greenhouse, which is still quite warm, but not as warm as inside. And then what I did was I took them out of that greenhouse and put them in a sheltered position in my garden and took them back into the greenhouse at night time. And you kind of acclimatise them to being outside, and now they're outside full time. So hopefully they're sort of used to it already and they understand what it means to be outside. You know, you've got to mother them a little bit, you know, they're like teenagers, they don't really want to leave. If you give them everything they want at home and then you just suddenly put them outside, they're going to rebel. You know, they're gonna have a tantrum and they're gonna sulk for a little bit. Some of them are sulking, to be fair, some of them are sulking, but I think they're gonna be okay. Please be okay. I was thinking this bed for the salad crops, so for all of my little lettuces. There's 2 different varieties here, you can see that. I can't remember for the life of me what they're called, but I just sow both of them. That doesn't help at all, but there we go. I was thinking this bed, these are radishes, got lots of radishes, some perpetual spinach somewhere, I can't remember which is which. But these are all shallow rooted crops and this bed isn't very deep at the moment, so I thought this might be quite good. But I'm looking here and there's been quite a lot of slug damage, and this is the first slug damage I've seen in my entire allotment. My entire allotment, it looks like the whole row, whatever these radishes have been eaten. So I'm just having a little walk around trying to think where else. Because it's not the kind of crop that I plan lettuces, because you kind of just slot them in wherever and they're quite happy in the sun, in partial sun, in the shade, like they do well everywhere. Hello, is that you, Einstein? Oh, it is you, it's Einstein. Right, should we feed Einstein quickly while we have a little think? There you are then, I see you. I can see you sitting up there. Hey, you waiting? There you are then, come on then. Come on then. Yep. Saw you waiting up there, Einstein. Yeah. Waiting so nicely, weren't you? Yeah. No, looking around, I do think this is probably the best bed for them. So we're going to stick with what we thought and go here, but I'll go sort of more into the middle where the slugs haven't been yet. Really have too many salad crops on your allotment plot. It's a great thing to grow, it's so easy, and what you can do with them is pick and come again. So you just pick off the leaves that you want to harvest and then the plant just sort of regrows more leaves. So they're just great crops to grow over the summertime, I think. Not all of them look very alive, so I'm just choosing the ones that look the most alive, and the rest of them, well, they'll go back into the compost, I suppose. These are my little potato nests that I made. Do you remember when I made these? It was sort of around Easter time, because I was saying it'd be a really great Easter activity, because they look like little nests. And they've just got second early potatoes. They're doing really well. This potato started to flower, which is a bit of a sign that they could almost be ready to harvest. But can I just say, this is the first time I've ever had any kind of slug damage, and I'm assuming that's slug damage. But it's the first time I've ever had any kind of slug damage on potatoes, and it's when I've grown them in like more of a container type thing instead of in the ground. I've never had slug damage in the ground before. I don't know if that's going to have an impact on the potatoes. I don't know if they get to potatoes. I've never ever experienced this before, so let me know. Do slugs and snails eat the potatoes? Actually, I think they will. I think they do, because I saw a slug in that potato. So I don't know how good the potatoes are going to be then if it's had slug and snail damage. I think it's just interesting, because I would have expected more damage on the potatoes that I grew directly in the ground than I would have in a container. For some reason I thought they'd be safer in here. But we will find out when we harvest them, which will not be today. I'm going to give them a bit of a water because they're looking a little bit sad and floppy. poor things. Right, I am looking at these pumpkins here, and I think these are winter squashes, so not actually pumpkins. I call all squashes pumpkins. That's very confusing, I understand, but I'm not a how-to channel, I'm just a what I'm doing. This is what I call them. I can't actually remember what they are. I think they're winter squash. I'm looking at them now and I'm thinking, do I really want to bother potting these on? Do they need potting on and then planting out, or should I just put them directly out now? The thing with pumpkins and squashes right now is that you can sow the seeds directly in the ground in June, and we are technically in June now. We are in June now, aren't we? We're in June. This is June. Yeah, okay, because I've just discovered that it's June, I think I'm going to plant them all out. I think we're going to go for it. Yeah, stuff it, let's do it. Let's plant out all the pumpkins. Come on guys, let's go. Right, some of them are going to go around my sweet corn here, and the reason being because this is a very sunny bed. You can see I think it's about 9:30 in the morning now, and it's already getting a lot of sun, and it just gets more and more as the day goes on, and that is exactly what squashes and pumpkins need. And I just think it's a good idea to utilise the space around sweet corn, because sweet corn gets quite tall and quite long and thin. Mind you, this sweet corn, it just doesn't look very healthy, does it? It's just not doing very well. It really just not loving life here. I don't know why. Oh God, these are really little. These are really teeny tiny, but you know what? I think they're going to be okay this year. Any other year I would be like, no, it's too early, they're too small. But this year, I've just got a good feeling. Now this bed here isn't ideal for pumpkins because it doesn't get a lot of sun, but you know what? I planted zinnia seeds in here a little while ago and I can't see any that are germinated at all. That could potentially be one, but that is just one. That is one. I know it doesn't get that much sun here, but you know what? I feel like I should whack something in, and I've got the pumpkins, so maybe I'll just put a couple of pumpkins in here and see how it goes. I'd rather have something than nothing, and we'll see how it goes. It'd be an experiment to see how they do in the sun and how they do in the shade. What? You don't agree? But none of the zinnias have come up, so what am I supposed to do? I can't just keep re-sowing them. That's crazy. What do you mean what he said? No, I've had enough of this. How long can I keep talking to the bird before you all get me committed? Alright, calm down. Right, and then we might as well stick a couple in here as well. It'd be rude not to now. We'll just sort of stick them everywhere, you know, and see where they grow. Who knows? There's a lot more sun here, so maybe they'll be happier here. We will find out. This is quite a big plant, so maybe you'll do okay here in the sun, mate. We'll find out though. don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera, but there are some footprints in my wood chip pathway that are massive. Really big, like really big holes. I'm like tripping over them. Actually, they're all down this pathway as well. Actually, it looks like something's dug. That looks like something's dug. Surely that's not a footprint, because if it is, I'm in trouble. Because if those are footprints, whatever animal that is, I can't take it. I can't tackle that animal. That animal can have it all. Honestly, it's like Bigfoot. That must be a Bigfoot, honestly, and I wouldn't tackle a Bigfoot, so it's the only explanation. Right, my next question to you guys, what do I do with these? These are onions, so these are onion seeds. Onions that I sowed from a seed. I've never done that before, but I did it this year. I think I did it over the autumn winter to see what would happen, and I do have some really good growth. I mean, really nice strong growth. When do I plant these outside then? They don't really look big enough now, but please let me know in the comments when I should plant these out. I'm not going to do it today because I don't know if it's the right time or not. But they're doing really well. I've never grown onion from seed before, ever, and I can't believe how well I've kept these alive. Right, I think I might be able to harvest some of this kale today. I'm absolutely loving kale at the moment. Honestly, I'm having my kale moment. It's my favourite vegetable by far. Not sure if all the leaves are totally ready yet. They're a little bit small, but actually I'm going to take some for my lunch. I didn't used to be a huge kale fan. I sort of had it occasionally, but I didn't love it. But I discovered a new recipe with it, and it's not new. A lot of you probably know all about it, but basically what you do, you get your kale leaf and you take out this bit, which is a bit hard and crunchy. You slice up your leaf and you put it into a baking tray, and then you put a little bit of olive oil over it. You put it into the oven and you bake it for about 25 minutes until it crisps up, and you have to wait for it to really go crispy, so you can sort of like move it with a spoon or something and you feel it's really crispy, and then you take it out and you put some sea salt over the top. It is delicious. It's basically making kale crisps, and it's absolutely delicious, and I've been having it so much. Obviously go a little bit easy on the salt if you want to make it super healthy and stuff. It literally tastes like crisps, and they're so nice and crunchy. I'm just going to take a little bit for lunch. Also, when you cook it in the oven like that and you crisp it up, it doesn't sort of wilt to nothing. You know, sometimes when you cook things like spinach and kale, you cook a lot of it and then it kind of like wilts and it turns into about that much, and you're like, where did it all go? When you crisp it up in the oven, that doesn't happen, so you feel like you're sort of getting more of it. So I won't need to pick that much, but I'm going to have it for my lunch. It's absolutely delicious. Right, well, I've got my lovely kale to take home. I hope you've enjoyed my little allotment diary today. I will see you again from jail. So peaceful in the London allotment. I will see you again on Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely rest of your gardening week. See you Friday. Bye.